Alright guys, I am excited about this video because in this video I am presenting my boy, the brand new X-Men 97 Cable. Oh my god, he looks so good. I've been like literally dreaming, drooling, salivating, manifesting this figure since I saw it like a month ago, back in August. When they revealed these, I was like, oh my god, I need this in my collection. But he's actually not going to live up here. Like, I do actually really like how he makes this shelf pop, my 90s shelf pop. But I actually already have a cable that I'm going to use here, so I'm actually going to take him, drop him down here, all right, in our 80s display. Don't fall over. Come on, there we go. Yeah, he's going to go down here in our 80s display with his X-Force peeps. So we got my boy Cannonball cannoning in the back, Sunspot sunning. Got Warpath, Boom Boom, and then the New Mutants on the side. I need to work on my New Mutants. I feel like they're gonna do like a new wave of them and like update them, especially with that Sunspot from X-Men 97 release. I feel like they're gonna get like a New Mutants. Oh, gotta love it. Let's pause that. And we're back. I'm glad that happened in real time because this is the reality of collecting action figures. You move one figure around and you run the risk of domino effect. But luckily only like 3 people fell. Like it was like everybody over here fell backwards. Except Legion and Wolfsbane. But Danny Moonstar took a tumble, Magic took a tumble, Warpath took a tumble, Boom Boom took a tumble, Sunspot took a tumble, Cannonball took a tumble, Cable, everybody tumbled. But oh, down here, Toad tumbled off of Juggernaut, and then my X Factor Jean like fell off of her stand while levitating. So figures that weren't even on that shelf fell down. So that is the reality for my toy collectors out there that want to get into this. It is one of those annoying things that happen, and you just take it in stride. So he's gonna live down here in my 80s display collection, and I am going to actually put my Street Fighter version up here. Yeah, like that makes sense. I'm gonna keep him here just because he complements the yellow and the blue. When I finally do make my Marvel versus Street Fighter, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Capcom, whatever display, I'll take him and I'll use him in that display. But I just like how he complements the yellow. Really, really cool. And then if anybody's wondering, Deadpool and Cable together. Pretty cool. Pretty badass. But again, I'm going to keep Deadpool up on top. Just because he complements the blue in the X-Men and he has the yellow. So I got my X-Men 97 Magneto in his 80s costume when he was joining the X-Men, and my 80s display as well, my Outback characters. So different ways you can use your 97 characters. You don't necessarily have to make an X-Men 97 display because their costumes span over a couple decades. Like if you do get the Wolverine and Storm 2-pack that they're going to release, it has Storm in her classic costume, this one, and it had the Thunderbird accessory, him. But instead you're going to get a Wolverine. You could easily, if you don't want to do an X-Men 97 display, you can put them in your 70s display. And this is my Secret Wars Wolverine. And I'm using him in my vintage display. And Storm is up here. So if you wanted to get those figures, you could definitely do that as well. And here they are side by side, with Deadpool being a fangirl in the middle because we know he loves Cable. I will say the 97 version looks to me to be taller. And I actually love how the detail in his face, like, let me see if I can focus. There we go. You guys, calm communicator. He has that dark work on his eye patch. I mean, look at the detailing. The gun blast. They really outdid themselves for $27.99. Our figures were $19.99. Now they're $27. And that's if you're not paying shipping and handling and the tax on top of it. Figures are basically 30 something to $40 nowadays anyway. But you be prepared to pay $40 for a figure, even if it says 20 something dollars. You're gonna pay more than that. But this figure is well worth what I paid for. I paid $38, I believe, because I got him in store at Forbidden Planet by 14th Street. And I only really did that because I wanted him right away. And sometimes when you order figures online, you run the risk of them having little paint defects and scratches. And I saw one reviewer had some problems with the belt and some scratches on the back. Funny enough, the one that I purchased today had like a little scratch on his little buckle on the bottom level. And it was like very visible. And I said, hey, I hate to be that customer, but can you guys please get me one that's not scratched up? And he said, no. I appreciate that you spotted that now and you want to switch it out instead of coming back later. So I'm very vocal for almost $40. Yeah, I'm going to be that customer to make sure I get the best non-defective figure in the store. So I'm very anal like that. And I feel like that's okay. So if you guys were curious how he fits in X-Force, how he fits in with the X-Men 97, you can do both. And if you were curious, I don't think I ever really reviewed this figure and went in on his details either, but I need to switch up their poses because they're kind of pretty much doing the same thing. And I don't like when my figures are all doing the same thing. Like I have Rogue up here showing off her super strength. And then here I have her showing like she's about to absorb somebody's power. So I do like to have everybody doing different things at different times. But I didn't want to make this video too long. This is just for you guys that were curious. If you're excited like me, definitely going to pick up Emma Frost and Jubilee. I'm definitely going to get that Logan figure and add him here in my Outback era. I have a little idea for his display. But this is my 80s shelf. So a lot of the figures that came out, to me, they look very 80s-esque. So they're probably going to end up landing here. I'm not necessarily going to put them in my classic X-Men display because it's pretty locked in, with the exception of having Deadpool up there. I do like how his blue and yellow complements them, but yeah, I like to have my core people. And then when they release that strong guy figure, he's probably going to go somewhere, boom, boom, right there with his big old weights. I'll probably get that green multiple man, get two of them since they're like under like $15. And then I'll start having that completedness of my 90s display. All right. So playing around with this figure and investigating its articulation, you can get some pretty cool poses out of it, but it will be limited articulation due to these shoulder pads. These shoulder pads are bulky, so you will not be able to really point the gun in conventional, traditional ways. But I mean, a man walking around with two big guns like that traditionally doesn't use guns in a traditional way. So that shouldn't really be an issue. If you wedge his bigger gun, the back part of it, like under his armpit, it should do that kind of like guns ablazing kind of effect, which looks kind of cool on cable. But if you're trying to do the straight ahead shooting effect, like straight head on, it's probably going to look kind of weird because of the pads. Even when you point it out to the side, it kind of looks decent, but it's not really like that same effect as like the yellow and blue cable. All right.